Out with the old, in with the new. Welcome to ContextTV, and today we're looking at the top 10 revamped logos and trademarks. Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at iconic corporate logos that got redesigned for modern times, but remained just as popular and memorable. Number 10, Microsoft.
Starting with Windows 95, it's easy. Start multitasking.
When Bill Gates and Paul Allen founded their computer software company in 1975, they made sure their logo was era-appropriate, with a groovy disco-style font and the company's name split into two. This stuck for the first 5 years of the company, until it was redesigned, looking more like a logo for Metallica, followed by a more traditional design that endured until 1987. The company then introduced the so-called Pac-Man logo with a speed line through the O, which led the company through iconic rollouts such as Windows XP and the Xbox. The Windows emblem was later included when the logo was redesigned again in 2012. Number 9, KFC.
What have you learned?
Fresh chicken makes the best chicken.
And that we use 11 herbs and spices.
Oh, but that's the Colonel's secret. And special pressure cooking.
So it's always tender and juicy.
Since its inception, the face of Kentucky Fried Chicken has been none other than Colonel Harlan Sanders, whose smiling, white-haired head has been featured in every logo for the fast food giant. The Colonel's image remained more or less the same from 1952 into the 90s, with the iteration using just the acronym. Then in 1997, the Colonel was given a new face and even shoulders. In 2006, he was redesigned again, resulting in a more defined image with an apron, which according to Greg Derrick, president of the company's US division, communicated, quote, the realness of Colonel Sanders and the fact that he was a chef. Number 8, Cadillac.
We hope that you will take the time to see and drive this magnificent new Cadillac very soon.
The logo for the luxury American automobile maker has primarily been based around the coat of arms of Antoine de la Mothe Cadillac, the founder of Detroit, Michigan. The company's crest has gone through many variations since its founding in 1902, appearing early on as a detailed recreation of the coat of arms. In the 1950s, the logo began to evolve into the more stylized version we know today, taking on a shinier feel while losing some of the more detailed elements of the original crest. While the glossy, stretched-out Cadillac logo of the modern era is markedly different from how it began, it remains a sleek symbol of opulence throughout the auto industry. Number 7, WWE.
The WWF, what the world is watching.
The evolution of the WWE's logo corresponds to distinct periods in the company's history. When the league began as the WWF in 1963, its logo featured basic lettering and a bodybuilder. This stuck until 1975, when it became 4 interconnected green W's. As the league exploded in popularity in the 80s, the logo got a shiny chrome makeover. A slanted variation was used for the new generation era in the mid-90s until the so-called scratch logo was introduced for the Attitude Era to symbolize the edgier, more realistic direction of the league. The F was later removed after a dispute with the World Wildlife Federation, but the scratch logo is still used today in an altered form. Number 6, Major League Soccer. When the biggest football league in America was founded in 1993, it introduced an iconic logo that stuck with them for their first 20 years. The image of a cleated foot kicking a soccer ball was instantly recognizable, and wasn't radically changed through the years, only receiving minor alterations and updates, such as more defined artwork and color changes. That is until 2015, when the logo finally received a major redesign as part of the MLS Next branding initiative.
The red, white, and blue colors capture Canada and the US. The slash down the middle separates a game of two halves.
Resembling more of a coat of arms than the rectangular foot and ball that came before it, the league says the red and white logo represents the next phase of the MLS's vision to be among the best sports leagues in the world. Number 5, Pizza Hut.
People here really are the best, and I ought to know. I'm Seth Adams, the manager.
This popular quick-service pizza chain wasn't always recognized by its distinctive red roof. When the company was founded in the 1950s, it was represented by their mascot Pete wearing an ascot and yellow hat, and dangling the company's name by the strings. This logo lasted a surprisingly long time, giving its obscurity in modern times, until it was replaced in 1974 by the iconic logo that juxtaposed the restaurant's name with a red roof. Variations of this logo have been commonplace since then, with additions including a more stylized roof and font, a yellow streak underneath, and in 2014, a red, pizza-like background. Number 4, Reebok. The original logo for this athletic wear company endured for decades before becoming the iconic, recognizable graphic we know today. From 1958 to 1986, Reebok was represented by its name beside the Union Jack. In 1986, the Union Jack gave way to the Vector. Variations of the symbol were used until the turn of the millennium, when the company started going by their name alone, no symbols needed. While the Vector made a comeback for a few years, the symbol was eventually lost, along with half the letters in the company's name, for a rebranding known as RBK. Thankfully, the vowels got reinstated in 2008 in a more traditional font, and a delta was added on the side in 2014. Number 3. Mercedes-Benz.
Engineered like no other car in the world.
The logo for this luxury German car maker was just its name inside a black oval for the first years of its existence, but the company introduced what would become a marketing icon in 1916. That was the year that the company presented the three-pronged star in a circle as its trademark, which is said to have represented founder Gottlieb Daimler's ambitions for universal motorization, on land, water, and air. The star received its current silver incarnation in 1980, which since 1990 also features the name of the company underneath. Number 2. Apple.
Using an Apple II is very easy. The only hard part is getting your kid away from it.
This tech giant's first logo, introduced in 1976, definitely wasn't representative of the glossy, high-tech world they'd pioneer. It did symbolize innovation, though, picturing Sir Isaac Newton sitting under an apple tree. A year later, it was replaced by the iconic emblem of a rainbow apple with a bite taken out of it. While the bitten apple has remained the defining aspect of the company, the colors have changed in accordance with the company's direction. The Apple got a black paint job with the release of the iMac, an aqua version in 2001 to go along with the iPod, and the current chrome version in 2007 with the device that took them to the top, the iPhone. Before we reveal our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1. Pepsi.
Be sociable, have a Pepsi.
For the first 50 years of its life, the iconic soft drinks logo was just its name in stylized fonts. That name was pressed onto a red, white, and blue bottle cap in 1950, introducing the brand's equally iconic color scheme. The bottle cap logo was redesigned in 1962 and again in 1973 when it became a flat image, now known as the Pepsi Globe. The name broke free of the globe in 1991 and was done up for the modern era several times in the 90s and 2000s, with a 3D globe and condensation added in 2003. It was simplified back to 2 dimensions in 2008 with a new, sleeker than ever minimalist look.
Check out these other great clips from ContextTV, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell about our latest videos.